Hi guys, happy Friday, and it's me again, Aiden, here with a new video. So, this week's topic is sexuality, and a lot of people like to believe that sexuality and gender identity go hand in hand, and they don't. So we are here to kind of clear all those myths and explain ourselves. So me personally, I identify as a trans man who is straight. But beforehand, I used to identify, as bisexual. So, the reason why I identified as that is because, growing up, I was, like, throwing a bunch of girl stuff that I never wanted to wear, like dresses, makeup, skirts, and I never wore them. I always, like, handed them off to my friends and stuff like that. I normally wore pants, more tomboy stuff. And, my friend kind of brought it to my attention that I might have been trans. And I kind of ignored it at first because my other friend was trans in high school. And I didn't want to kind of like people to be like, oh, you're copying him. And that's not what was going on. As I got older and I cut my hair off and I started doing drag and I started dressing more masculine, I started to realize that it was in fact true that I was female to male trans and that's what I've always been. So but I did identify as bisexual because it was more, I guess, and I feel like really bad for this because it wasn't a stepping stone for coming out. Like it wasn't my choice to come out. I was more forced out the closet. Somebody like went snooping around my extra Facebook that I still have, and told my parents that I was dating a girl, and my parents took it as, she's lesbian, which I'm not, and I wasn't really sure what I was, but I was identifying under bisexual because people always wanted some kind of answer, so I was like, whatever, I'll just give them one. So when I came home and was forced to, give them an explanation, that is the explanation that came out, and it kind of could have been worse, I feel like, maybe, but it was as worse as it got for me, because I was beat the crap out of by my mom, so yeah. And it was more like, my family's super religious, but they don't go to church, which is really stupid. But they sit here and they were like, oh, how do you think that makes us feel? Because we're Catholic, yada, yada, yada. You need to stop this. But then, I kind of hinted at it when I was on the phone with my aunt, like, 2 years ago. And she was like, God, don't make mistakes. But I feel like, I feel like he does on purpose, like, to see if you'll, like, preach his word as an acceptance and love, and just not preach to me that I'm wrong. He loves us no matter what. We are made in his image. Like my aunt did say, he was made as an image, and that's why I cannot be. But again, I feel like I was placed in the wrong body on a purpose. So, yeah. So as I got kicked out at like 20, and I cut my hair, and once I cut my hair off, it was like a big, like, relief, and I started dressing more as a guy, and I started to realize, hey, I like this a lot more than I normally like clothing. I normally like that. I started binding, I started dressing as a guy, and I realized, hey, I'm trans. So when I did that, I kind of realized I'm not bisexual, because I've never been physically attracted to a guy. Like, I could never do anything physical with a guy. It just makes my dysphoria would act up too much. But like, I was always felt like I had to do something, because that's what my genitalia was addressing me as. That's what I was told I have to be. So as growing up, and I realized that's not the truth, I seen that, I'm straight. So it doesn't, necessarily go hand in hand, but that is hand in hand. Now, I know a bunch of trans guys who are gay and trans, or bi and trans, or pansexual and trans, and that's perfectly fine, because, guess, again, gender identity and, sexuality don't go hand in hand. It's always never has. Like, there are feminine, lesbians, feminine everything, and there's butch everything, butch gay guys, butch everything. So people like to think like, because you're butch you have to be lesbian, or because you're feminine you have to be gay, which isn't always the fact or the truth. So that's just my personal thing. You know, I'm 22 now, gonna be 23, and I finally found my final, you know, what I'm meant to be and to make me happy in my life and in my body. But it took a lot of, you know, ups and downs. So coming out to my family is another thing, and I think we're gonna cover coming out pretty soon. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that. But this is just my personal experience, and I just want to let you know, gender identity, sexuality, two different things. Gender identity is how I perceive myself and see as I am, female to male. My mind, my soul, and my heart are of a male, but my genitalia doesn't match that. And whereas sexuality is, you know, who you date, and that could be female, male, transgendered, doesn't matter. You know, that's your, you know, you don't choose the label. It's within you. It's chosen for you when you are birthed. And so is your gender identity. It's chosen birth in your mind, and as you grow up, you find all this out, and that's what it requires in adulthood, I guess you could say. But I'm not saying that, you know, you are, because you are born female, you are female. No, I'm saying that as you grow older, you see your gender identity as you truly are, and your sexuality, and that's all in your head at birth. And as you grow older, you become that thing. You embody what you vision in the mirror, and you see, to make your life and make yourself happy, because that's who you are. Thank you guys for watching my video for Friday, and I will see you guys next time.